Hello, dear students. Hope you all are fine at your place. Myself, Gaganpreet Kaur, your class teacher for subject economics. So, here we are studying the chapter that is government budget and the economy. So, in the previous video, we studied till revenue receipts and capital receipts, as we have completed with the receipts known as budget receipts. Now, let's start with the budget expenditure. Next topic is budget expenditure. Budget expenditure refers to estimated expenditure of the government during the fiscal year. Means the government prepares an estimate of the amount to be spent during the financial year. Like budget receipts, as we have completed with the budget receipts. So, like budget receipts, the budget expenditure of the government is broadly classified as revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. As in the earlier video, we have studied budget receipts. We categorize budget receipts into two categories. One was revenue receipts, the second one was capital receipts. On the same way, when we will be studying about the budget expenditure, it has to be categorized into two categories. The one is known as revenue expenditure and the second one is known as capital expenditure. So starting with the revenue expenditure. So revenue expenditure is that expenditure of the government which specifies two characteristics. The number one characteristics of the revenue expenditure is that it does not create any asset for the government. As we all know that government spends money but does not get anything in return, or we can say no asset is created. Obviously, if government spend money but does not get anything in return, so we can say that no asset is created. For example, old age pension given to the senior citizens, scholarship, etc. So all these are expenditure which does not create any asset for the government. The second point is it does not cause any reduction in the liability of the government, as expenditure by way of the grants to the state government to cope with the natural calamities does not reduce any financial liability of the central government. For example, like nowadays during COVID, the central government is providing funds to the state government for COVID-19, for fighting with COVID-19. So it is providing emergency fund. The central government is providing emergency funds and also the rations, or we can say the food grains to the people. So these grants given by the government do not reduce the liability of the central government. So, in short, what are the revenue expenditure? Revenue expenditure refers to estimated expenditure of the government in a fiscal year which does not create asset or causes a reduction in the liability. So, it has two characteristics: revenue expenditure. Here are few important items of revenue expenditure in the Indian government budget, like wages, bill of the government, interest payment, expenditure on subsidies, defense purchases, etc. Now let's talk about the capital expenditure, because we are studying here the budget expenditure categorized into two categories. One is known as revenue expenditure, second one is known as capital expenditure. So capital expenditure of the government also has two characteristics. So what are these characteristics all about? Let's study these. Number one is that it creates asset for the government. For example, government may purchase shares of any domestic or any multinational company for investment purposes, because government can invest in domestic companies or any multinational companies. So it creates an asset for the government. So equity shares of domestic and multinational companies purchased by the government may be cited as an example. Second point, it causes reduction in the liabilities of the government, as repayment of loans taken from the RBI, because we have studied that government sometimes borrow money from RBI or from the World Bank or from the other public countries. Then obviously government has to repay it. Then if we talk about the repayment of loans taken from the RBI, World Bank or any other public enterprise, reduces the liability of the government. Obviously, if I have taken a loan and if I'm repaying my loan, I have reduced my liability. The same way, if the government had taken the loan and government is repaying the loan, then government's liability is also reduced. So we can say that capital expenditure refers to those estimated expenditure of the government in the fiscal year which create asset or causes a reduction in liabilities. So here are some other expenditure also, as we have categorized expenditure into two categories, revenue and capital expenditure. But there is one other expenditure also known as plan and non-plan expenditure. We will just read it once, try to understand. That budget expenditure, revenue plus capital expenditure, is also classified as a plan and non-plan expenditure. What is the difference? See here. In plan expenditure refers to that expenditure which relates to specific plans and programs of development and assistance of the central government to the state governments. It includes both revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. The first point is specified plans and programs. So, the government has made plans for the growth and for the development and for the assistance to the state government. These constitute planned expenditure. The expenditures which government made for the growth and development, or we can say that for providing assistance to the state government, these all constitute planned expenditures. On the other hand, if we talk about the non-planned expenditure, the expenditure for which no planning is done, as it relates to the routine working of the government, is called non-planned expenditure. Like it includes expenditure on such services as of law and order, defense, subsidies, etc. This is how we can write a budget expenditure, revenue plus capital, or plan plus non-plan expenditure. You must read this. Did you know it? In India, non-plan expenditure is a significant part of the total government expenditure. So at a glance, this is the structure of the government budget. As we have studied, budget receipts, revenue, capital receipts. Under revenue, tax receipts and non-tax receipts. Under capital receipts, we studied about recovery of loans, borrowings and other liabilities and other receipts. And now we have started with the budget expenditure. This is also divided into two categories, revenue and capital, and further it can be categorized as planned and non-planned expenditure. I hope at a glance you have clear picture that what we have studied till now. And for studying further, you all must learn these things, that what comes under revenue receipts and what comes under capital receipts, and what comes under capital expenditure and what comes under revenue expenditure. Otherwise you all will be confused. You need to read all these budget receipts, that is revenue and capital receipts, revenue expenditure and capital expenditure, time and again, or I can say again and again, so that you don't get confused for the further studies. So starting with the next topic, that is difference between revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. So difference in meaning first. as revenue expenditure does not impact asset liability status of the government, as we have studied, because this expenditure does not affect the asset and the liabilities of the government. On the other hand, capital expenditure has an impact on the asset liability status of the government because assets are raised or liabilities are lowered. Significance. First point, revenue expenditure, as I can say, it focus on the welfare of the people. On the other hand, capital expenditure, it focus on the GDP growth. Third point, B point means here, that is high revenue expenditure by the government. High revenue expenditure by the government points to poverty of the people or backwardness of the economy. Why? Because the government needs to give subsidies or even old age pensions because the people of the country are poor and economy is backward. So government needs to give subsidies and old age pension to the poor. Thus higher revenue expenditure indicates poverty and backwardness in the country. Secondly, in the other hand, capital expenditure, high capital expenditure by the government points to the lack of private investment in the economy. Capital expenditure by the government is raised when the economy is suffering from any deflationary gap. Now, what does this point says? That when the private sector does not make the investment in the economy and the economy is suffering from deflationary gap, or I can say recession, the government needs to introduce capital to lift the economy out of the problem. So I hope these are all clear. There is another difference known as revenue budget and capital budget. So let's study this. The first point, like revenue budget. Revenue budget includes revenue receipts and revenue expenditure of the government. And on the other hand, capital budget includes capital receipts and capital expenditure of the government. I hope there is no need of any explanation for this point. Second is, revenue budget does not impact asset liability status of the government, but on the other hand, capital budget impact asset liability status of the government. This I have explained earlier also. The third point, this is to be understood. Like see, it says in a revenue budget, focus is on the welfare of the people by way of DBT. DBT means direct benefit transfers. Because revenue income received by the government is used for the welfare of the people. Most of the portion is generally used to pay the salaries, to pay the wages, to pay the interest, to pay the subsidies, and even the defense purchases. So it does not include any contribution to the GDP growth. On the other hand, capital budget focuses on the GDP growth by way of public investment. The main focus of the capital budget is on the GDP growth. The government invests in the economy to increase the GDP rate. Fourth point, high revenue receipts in the revenue budget leads to low capital receipts in the capital budget. Like if revenue receipts are high, if revenue receipts are high, we can easily pay our revenue expenditure. If revenue receipts are high, we can easily pay our revenue expenditure, and the surplus of these receipts can also be used to pay for the capital expenditure, which means the fines, the taxes collected by the government after paying the pension, salaries and scholarships can also be used to pay off the loans borrowed by the government. On the other hand, in capital budget, the high capital receipts are often related to compulsions of borrowings. It is a sign of a backward economy. Like supposingly, like when the government is not able to pay for its capital expenditure, then out of the revenue receipts, and it has to borrow money for the development and infrastructure. It is a sign of backward economy. I hope this is clear. Like when the government is not able to pay for its capital expenditure out of revenue receipts, capital expenditure out of revenue receipts, and it has to borrow money for the development and for the infrastructure, then it is a sign of a backward economy. So I hope till here it is all clear to you. For moving on to the next topic, I must say here that you all must go through the budget receipts and the budget expenditure, which is categorized into budget revenue expenditure, revenue capital expenditure, then revenue receipts and capital receipts, because only then you will be able to understand the next topic, that is known as budget deficit. So you all must go through these first, that is budget receipts and budget expenditure and what comes under these heads. You all must go through, you all must revise these once. Thank you.